And that's how the Grinch saved Christmas.
Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to the third episode of Organic Matters, the best podcast that has ever graced the planet Earth, that only has one star in the solar system that it's kept in.
Yeah, so welcome back to Organic Matters, third episode. I'm your co-host, Dominick George, and
this is Tomas Salas right here, as a person.
As a person, and as a place, and as a thing, which is a noun. Speaking of nouns, the podcast is a noun. And so today I thought we would get into how the podcast came to be. So Organic Matters. I think we start off with the name. Now,
you see, I was talking about myself as a person, right? And everyone's a person. Like, all of you guys who are listening right now are people. And you guys live in homes, and you do things everywhere, right? And one day, me and Dominick were having just some weird banter at midnight.
It wasn't even banter. You were trying to go on one of your tangents of like, oh, dude, I just have like this insane, thought-provoking idea that I'm going to tell Dominick, and he's going to say something, and he's going to agree with me or disagree with me, and we're going to have a conversation about it. But instead, it went like something like this. It was like, Dom, so we're organic creatures, right? Pause. When I heard him when I heard him say this, I was like, all right, there's two ways he could go with this. He could say, one, it's crazy how we're like at the top of the food chain, and or two,
he's gonna say some profound thought.
I thought you were gonna go like with how it's crazy that our habitat is like a house. That's where I thought you were going with it.
Yeah.
But instead, he goes...
I explained further, and I was like, so, Dom, like, people have, like, bathroom. Like, everyone has a bathroom, right? And, like, middle-class families, they're not always clean. And, like, they're just so lived in. And then...
No. This is direct to quote. You said, when you go to someone's house, it's, like, lived in. It's like not clean. They're like stinky. And then at that point you like realized what you were saying, and then you started laughing. And you're like, I'm not stinky.
I'm choking. I'm at water.
Kind of what happened in the situation. But anyways,
so that just kind of passed. Like that was a moment that happened. It was funny. We laughed for like 15 minutes straight, literally. I tried to like expand further on what I was saying. It wasn't going well.
It just made no sense. You just didn't know what you were saying is the problem. But anyways, fast forward like a week or so, and we need a name for the podcast.
Because I mean, we wanted to start a podcast. Like Dominick's dad has this guy who is his boss for work, and he was telling Dom, you know, you need to learn how to market yourself. Like you need you need some sort of like social media that you can like work at to build your brand.
A creative endeavor and we talked about how we've tried this before, the podcast, and then he was like, you should work on a podcast, and I was like, all right, we'll work on one. So then we finally started working on the podcast, and that's where the idea of the podcast kind of started. And then Tomas also wanted to we also just wanted to create another podcast because the first podcast we made didn't really go as far as this one has, or it's not as big or like professional as this podcast.
And there was no like schedule, like we didn't post every like week or anything, and it was just something fun that we did as 8th graders.
But then we were coming up with a name, and I thought back to the organic creatures, and then I was trying to think of a pun, and then I said organic matters, because I thought of like a topic is like a matter, you know? It's like,
we're talking about a matter, like
you know.
We know what we're saying.
So then I was like, well, if we're just gonna be talking down the podcast and having conversations
about random
stuff. They're about people and about what's happening in the world. So that's the organic part, and then when their topics are their matter. So I just put together, and I was like, organic matters, and then Thomas was like, oh,
I have an idea. So let's rewind to like about a year ago okay, so we were in quarantine, right? And the Black Lives Matter movement was a huge thing going on. Like the riots were happening, and people were just they were trying to spread the word, right? And I totally agreed with the movement, and I wanted to do something about it, and also start a business because I'm an entrepreneur. I like starting. I like making money, right? And I like
who doesn't?
I like using my brains to think creatively and make up a business. So in my mind, I was working a huge amount of time at this time. I was on one pay period, which is 2 weeks. I worked like 99 hours at a gardening center, and I had plenty of time to think there. So I was just every day I went to work like every single day in a week, and every day I would build on this idea of a clothing brand that was tailored to a creative thing that I did before, which was bleach tie-dye black t-shirts. And I love the look of it. Like it's a really cool style. Orange is a really cool color mixed with black, which is also my favorite color.
Okay, but the name of your clothing brand was Orange Ribbon, right?
Yeah, it was called Orange Ribbon.
And dude, because I remember you asked me to help with a name, and then I thought of Blue Ribbon, and then I think we looked up like the color orange or something.
Yeah,
and it meant like together.
Yeah, something. And then also it was I think it's a symbol for like it's some sort of cancer. I can't think of it. Like I said, this was a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea I had in my brain was to create a clothing brand that was centered on the was to create a clothing brand that was centered around the design of a bleach tie-dyed t-shirt. And because it's bleach tie-dyed, every single shirt is different, but technically they're all the same. So the saying behind the brand is made different all the same. Like people, because we're all different types of people. We all have different ethnicities, and different viewpoints.
And then the tying into Black Lives Matter, tying into Black Lives Together.
Exactly.
And then so if you look at the podcast logo, it's like kind of an O, and it was supposed to be for Orange Ribbon. And then there's like people. You can see like they're kind of like putting their arms out and they're like little heads, and that's what it's supposed to look like. So,
that's where I was going with this. The logo that I created for Orange Ribbon, it was supposed to symbolize unity and community, positivity, just including everyone in your life and being happy all together. And I created the logo to where everyone's like jumping for joy on each side, and I think it's a pretty cool logo.
And it worked perfectly because I said organic matters, and then he thought back to the clothing brand, and they both start with an O. So then we're like, we can actually use the logo now because your clothing brand, it didn't work.
Yeah, you guys must be wondering, like, what? Okay, well, like, where's this clothing brand at? Like, why didn't this work? So I was really dedicated into this thing. I put in hundreds of dollars. I bought all the supplies, everything that I needed to start this. I was on the final step of screen printing the logos and the designs onto t-shirts, and the only way it was gonna work for me to make like a profit on these t-shirts and to have a viable business was to screen print with my own like my own screens. And I created the screens, and it was a process, and I tried so hard to make it work, but it just wasn't working. And I tried for weeks, and I just ended up losing momentum and interest in the idea. And now there's just random t-shirt creating supplies in my basement.
So anyways, that's how the logo and the name of the podcast came to be. I guess next would be the studio. So the studio, you might look around if for audio listeners. We've got some Legos in the background. We've got a CRT, a little peanut section, like the cartoon.
Yeah, the cartoon, like Charlie Brown.
And then a couple other things, and it kind of looks like a room, like a kid's room, like a teenager or whatever. Because it actually is. The studio is my brother's old room. So he moved.
How old is he?
He is 21, and and we just got it now because he took his first year of college online because of Corona, and he goes to the University of South Carolina. But he took his whole first year online in Indiana, right? But then he had to move on campus. So then the night he moved, like, I was sad, right? And Derek moved out. That's my brother's name, Derek. And he did a lot for the house and he did a lot for us, but then he moved out. And then literally I think the first hour he was gone, I was like,
cleared it.
I was like, yo, Tomas, it's time. Podcast room, we have it. It's go. And so then we made the set, and this is the set of Organic Matters, and I think it worked out great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We moved the TV in here for extra space because behind the TV is just a big blue splotch, and it doesn't look very good. So we put the TV in here, put some like figurines on top of it so that it's got some design. And it's a pretty nice studio. We got over to our left here we have a Mac and another monitor to record our audio, to see how much time we have going, and some talking points actually. And
then you brought the studio light.
Oh yeah, we got a studio light. And got a tripod.
It's pretty good. And then what else? The podcast. I guess the intro song.
Wait, sorry. We also have a microphone at. You got no one's seen the microphone yet, so we'll just go ahead and show this. This is a blue Snowball Ice microphone, and it all kind of ties together to create a nice little amateur podcast studio.
Amateur. I think what's not amateur. I think it's pretty professional as our intro song.
100%. Our intro song. It was This is a great subject to get into because it was difficult to find a free thing on YouTube for us to use that was like personalized to an organic style to kind of express what we're trying to show in like the first couple seconds of it. And so my brothers are musicians, and I was like hesitant on asking them because it's a lot of work to like create a whole song. But eventually I mustered up the courage and asked them, and they were down to help me out. Like, it was pretty cool of them. So I go down, a couple days pass, and then I go down into my basement where their current studio was at the time, and we start making the song, and my brothers are just jamming. My brother's playing the drum set, my other brother's playing guitar, then the keyboard, then the bass, and it took about like 3 hours, like an hour and a half to 3 hours to create the whole song, and there's more to it than just like the intro song, and there's like a intro to the song and then like an outro and stuff to the song.
We might make like a better intro, but right now the intro is fine.
Yeah.
The song, we tried to model the song off of, pardon my French, but the song's My Shit by A Boogie with a Hoodie. And the reason why I want to model off that song is because when we first got the room, that's like one of the first songs we played on the big speakers, and it was just such a vibe.
Yeah, we were jamming. We were dancing around.
We had the red lights, and then now before every podcast, we play that song to get hype and to get in podcast mood.
Yeah, let me just, we're going to cut for a second, and we're going to go to a dark studio with the red lights in the background, and you'll see like how chill it looks.
All right, sorry for the audio listeners, but this is what the studio looks like with the red lights, and it's just such a vibe in here.
Yeah, we got a rock lamp up there. You probably can't see it, but
so yeah, this
is what it looks
this
like.
This is where we vibe after the podcast is over, and then also when we're vibing before the podcast, and then we get all the lights on for the video.
We turn on like music super loud, and we just blast it. And
we kind of look ridiculous, but like it's kind of our dance moves where it's like kind of swinging our arms, just kind of spinning around, throw it back a couple times. But it's just like the music just like takes over our bodies, and then we just kind of float, and kind of like we feel like we're floating. We're just kind of like moving through space.
Exactly.
And we like see each other, and we're like, hey.
Very organic, I'd say. Organic movements, not natural, or not very natural.
Free flowing.
Yeah, free flowing organic movements.
Organic movements. All right, I'm gonna
Yeah, let's turn the lights back on.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So that's the podcast. That was how it became. That's how all the stuff came together. And so yeah, I thought we'd just get into the intro or how Organic Matters was created, because I'm sure you guys are wondering, or how it came up with the name and just stuff like that.
Quarantine acne. So over quarantine, like I said, I was working a bunch. All right, I was working, like I said, 99 hours in a week, or in 2 weeks one time, and we had to wear these masks, and I was sweating all the time, and I got so lucky.
Are you talking about the picture?
Yeah.
That picture, oh my god.
It's probably the worst picture I've ever taken of myself. I got so lucky that we were in a global pandemic at the time, because nobody was able to see me like this.
Well, if your hair wasn't like now, your hair kind of covers your forehead.
Yeah.
But he lifted up his forehead, his hair, and imagine seeing Mars from like far away, and how there's craters everywhere, and basically he just had
and they're full with pus.
30 pimples busting out the seams, and it looks like he could be a great contender for like Dr. Pimple Popper or something. He's pretty cleared up now.
Yeah, I'm pretty cleared up for how we're doing. If you look up close, it's pretty bad, but right now, I'm sure it looks pretty fine.
So, how well kept were you during quarantine?
I was pretty well kept. I showered every day, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I meant by like hygiene. You showered every day.
Yeah, definitely every day.
Like every single day.
Every day, but I had no skincare routine. Right now, I got this awesome mask. It's like a mud mask, and I wear it twice a week. Actually, I've been slacking on it since school started. It's around once a week now, and I use lotion. That's pretty much it for my skin routine, and it's gotten a lot better. That's for sure.
Well, yikes! So during quarantine, here, I think I showered maybe like once a week.
I mean, like, that's
okay,
bad. That's
you
bad.
know
That's
why?
bad.
You know why?
Yeah, explain yourself.
Here's the daily routine. All right. Wake up. What? Guess the time I wake up.
10:30. 1:30.
7 a.m. You might be thinking,
Are we?
we're in quarantine. Why are you waking up so early? So Animal Crossing kind of came out. So then you'd wake up and then you'd go play Animal Crossing.
I never got into it. Like I tried. It just didn't. It didn't appeal to me.
Dude, okay. So the Animal Crossing New Horizons came out like the first week of lockdown. Nintendo, that was literally the best time to release that game ever.
They probably made so much money.
I think it's the best selling Switch game of all time. Or second.
That would make sense.
I think it's like Mario Kart and then Animal Crossing. Anyway, Animal Crossing is it's up there. It's either 1 or 2, 3. But it's because during quarantine, everyone's life was so bad that Animal Crossing was just a better life. So I'd wake up, play Animal Crossing, work on my island from 7 to like 4 p.m. I've never put 100 hours in a video game so quick. I would play that game. So
I don't think I've ever put 100 hours into a video game.
Dude, I did this so fast. I was addicted, and I was better life. I'd wake up, play Animal Crossing. I'd have so much fun. This was the most fun I've ever had playing a video game.
Well, at least you had fun, Dom.
And then at 4, I'm finally like, maybe I should start my homework that I haven't looked at yet. So then I'd start my homework.
This is like when quarantine first happened.
Yeah.
So we weren't doing like Zoom calls or anything.
So I would look at my e-learning or whatever, and then I would do it, solve it, skip some. And then at night, you got more different bugs and fishes in Animal Crossing.
Gotta play more.
Play more Animal Crossing, and then go to bed at like 3. And then I wouldn't wake up at 7 every day. But like, let's say there's like an event in Animal Crossing that starts at 7, I would wake up for Animal Crossing, but I would not wake up for school.
It's important.
So then, I kind of was like, I'm not seeing anyone. I don't need a shower.
Like a girlfriend?
I didn't have a girlfriend. Single. So then I was like, you know what? I don't need a shower. I'm not seeing anyone. So then I just didn't shower for like a week.
Did you stink? Be honest.
Dude, I BO, bro. I was like the one kid that wore the creeper hoodie.
Oh,
dude,
there's this guy in Wade's class who smelled so bad the other day.
Dude,
I hope he's not watching this.
Dude,
and if you are, I made a funny comment to you.
And my hair was greasy. I smelled bad. And so then I take a shower like once a week. And then if it got really bad and I felt gross, then I would take a shower. But the thing is that I think my septic was also broken. So we couldn't shower that often or else the septic would leak.
Oh man.
So
that's
then
tough.
so then it was rough and I couldn't. So then that's why my hygiene kind of fell. But yeah, I was like, I would tell people like, is your hygiene as bad as mine? Because I would like talk to people and they're like, my hygiene's actually getting better. I'm like, wow, we had two different perspectives on like living like during quarantine.
So like quarantine, it kind of extended into the summer of 2020, right? Or is that going into 2021? Yeah, the summer going into 2021, it kind of extended into that, right?
What do you mean?
Like the last summer, quarantine was kind of a thing still. Like we were just getting back into like
I think
swing of
once
things.
summer started is when like kind of quarantine started ending. Well, for some people it ended like when school started because they like some people went to school as soon as we reopened.
Yeah.
But I was virtual all year, and dude, I literally don't remember anything of my junior year, which was last year, other than playing
like the routine.
No, playing Minecraft during like lectures, and yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna be honest. I remember making a sick temple in Minecraft, but
sugarcane farm. I made a sugarcane farm.
I don't remember. I don't remember the lectures.
Yeah.
My grades were fine. Like I got all A's and a couple B's in my AP
There was
classes.
like a whole process to getting good grades. Like you'd go on Snapchat and you'd text every single person like, "Yo, you got the homework?" And then someone would send you a homework one time, and then you'd go to the next person. They would send you homework the next time, and then you'd have to do one thing of homework to send to someone so that they'd be like nice to you and send you homework the next time after that.
Well, what I did, and I hope. Well, the one thing is, I hope. My Spanish teacher said she might watch the podcast. Well, I can't do this anymore. But what I would do is, let's say during a Spanish test, they want your camera on, right? But I'd have two monitors. But the thing is, you could see me looking at my other monitor. So I'd be like, Spanish dictionary, copy paste. Got it. Dude.
What's cool about what I did is that my computer was over here, my camera's over here. So I was looking at a different monitor the whole time. So I could just like kind of look down at my phone or like put up a different tab.
Oh, dude. Well, my calc teacher. Well, the thing about calc is that I didn't.
Hey, let's not talk about cheating. We didn't. This is all like made up stuff, by the way. We never did any of this. Like we're just talking about things we've heard from other people.
Yeah. So hypothetically, I had a friend, and what she did is so the calc teacher would want your camera down onto your page, so then you can just have whatever notes you want on the sides. Thing is, I think I learned the most in calc than any other class.
Oh my gosh, I'm in calculus right now. It's very difficult because I didn't listen to a lot in pre-calc at all last year. So we're going over like a review like really quickly of all of pre-calc, and I'm struggling.
I feel like that's the same for a lot of people. Have you seen like the memes on? I've seen a couple on TikTok where it's like the doctors of like 2021 like going to surgery.
Oh yeah,
and they're like
accidentally removes the left arm instead of the right.
Stuff like that. That's crazy. Like, and the crazy thing is, we can talk about this, is that we might get shut down again.
I mean, it's a possibility. There's actually, like, if a school has a bunch of people who get the flu virus, they'll shut down. So it's not like something that's out of the ordinary for if a school has a virus that's going around. Like you can search from like 2019 from before COVID was a thing to like 2005 and see that like plenty of schools were shut down because of illnesses. So it's not like COVID is the only factor that schools are shutting down.
Okay, but right now it basically is though. Oh, okay, but also
oh yeah, it definitely is like the illness, but like if the numbers are compared to like a school that was shut down in 2018 because of the flu virus, and like it's more than that, then the school should shut down.
Dude, I had this crazy memory on Snapchat. It was February, so flu like Corona's not like we're not like big Corona yet. It's not like March.
Mm-hmm.
The flu was so bad that I was wearing a mask. My mom had me wearing a mask before Corona. I was like,
you're real OG, Dom.
I was like, that's crazy. I was wearing a mask before it was required. I was like, that's so crazy. But
you were a hipster.
But I have a theory of, so we have so many illnesses going around with Corona. We have someone got the flu. It's not even winter yet, which is normally when flu season is, right?
Yeah.
Someone got the flu. I had strep the first week of school.
Oh, it was terrible. We were going to film a podcast last week, but he couldn't. We were going to do a lot of stuff last week, but we couldn't.
There's a sinus infection and Corona. I just think that
I had a cold.
Us as people haven't been around that many people in so long that our immune systems aren't as good as they were.
That makes sense.
So then anything is just going in. It's just, give me some of that. Strep.
Let me lick a doorknob or two.
Yeah.
Gain some E. coli.
Yeah, dude. There's a stomach bug too. There's everything.
Hold up. Wait. E. coli.
Uh-oh. What? E. coli what?
Did you know that E. coli fed toxic waste? The excrement of the E. coli is aspartame?
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't know that.
Aspartame is the sweetener in, like, sugar-free drinks.
Is that what we just drank in our Monsters?
Oh.
But we don't.
I hope not.
Don't think about it.
I hope not.
No. It's cool.
But, my dive coach, I go to diving every single day. It's a 40-minute drive, there and a 40-minute drive back. I go there, and we have these, like, crazy talks for, like, 30 minutes before practice. And he got into why you shouldn't be drinking like Mio or like sugar-free Monster or Diet Coke. He's like, aspartame is actually the poop of E. coli when it's fed toxic waste.
Dude, it's just math, bro. Negative times a negative equals a positive, dude.
What's the second negative?
Toxic waste.
Toxic
E.
waste.
coli.
Sweetness. Is toxic waste organic?
Probably, yes.
Like, is it, even though it's, like, terrible for you, it's in nature, so it's organic, right?
No, isn't toxic waste, like
radioactive? Is it radioactive?
Yeah. Is it radioactive? We're not smart.
Radioactive is, like, when,
You don't know the answer
Wait.
to this.
I know the answer. What's the element?
Hydrogen.
No.
Oxygen. Peroxide. Peroxide?
Hydrogen. Peroxide. That goes on cuts.
And then we cut. No. Anyways. Back on to the Corona. So we might get shut down again. And because we're getting 100 cases a day or something like that crazy.
No.
I heard that one day there was 100 cases.
That is more than I thought. I'm not gonna lie.
And
do you think those people are vaccinated?
That's the thing, is the first week and a half we had you don't have to wear a mask. But I wore a mask anyway.
It was nice. I'm not gonna lie. I really liked not wearing a mask at school.
Well, but I think that also helped with the sicknesses getting around. And then I want to talk about the protest we had at the meeting.
There was a protest.
So there was a meeting at the school for if they should wear masks at school or not.
I didn't see any like pictures or like videos of it or like.
Have you heard? Did you hear about it?
I heard about it in class. I was like, that's crazy, but I wish I like saw a picture.
So I was at soccer and I heard a bunch of car horns beeping.
You were there?
And then I heard a bunch of car horns beeping and then people making noise and then I saw like a bunch of cars and then I heard from some teammates that were in the trainer that there's a crazy protest going on for them not to wear masks. So then what my teammates did is to drive to the soccer fields. They put on all their masks and went in their car. They were in the car together with their masks on, and they drove slowly past the people with the protest, and they were just looking at them. And the protesters gave them this evil look. And I thought it was so funny that they're wearing masks.
Did they get any fingers?
Dude, they're at the school. No one's gonna flip them the bird. It was just crazy. But now we have to wear masks at school, which I feel like is the right decision.
Yeah, it's definitely the right decision, but it is annoying. I wish coronavirus was not a thing.
Dude, it's crazy how coronavirus has changed how we look. Like, let's say there was a picture today in Spanish of of like some plaza, and there was like thousands of people all close, and I was like, that doesn't look corona safe.
Oh my gosh!
And then I thought to myself, like, I did not think that 2 years ago, or 3 years ago.
Like that's unsafe for so many people to be in that area. I had that same exact thing when I'm like watching when I first started watching like movies in quarantine, or like after like a couple months of quarantine. I'm like, whoa, that guy's pretty close there on that bus. That doesn't seem safe.
Dude, it's crazy. It's just so, dude.
It's pretty whack.
Dude, this is so crazy. And then I think this has kind of ruined our high school experience.
Yeah, but I didn't have really a high school experience to start with because I'm in early college. Early college is a program where you take so many college like dual credit classes in high school to where you can graduate high school with your associate's degree, which is going to be really, really helpful going into college. But I did not have the opportunities that other people did have, like going into normal high school. Like people are able to do like band and choir and stuff, which I would have loved to be in, but I only got one elective each year. And since I'm on the dive team, I have to take a physical conditioning class, and that takes up my elective. So every single class every year has been taken up by something that is either like general studies, like social studies, English, math, stuff like that, and physical conditioning, which is a really good class. I do like physical conditioning. Yeah. Or physical conditioning.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about, like, I felt right when Corona hit was mid-sophomore year, right? I thought that's when, like, I felt like high school was just starting then. Because I was actually, like, going to, like, basketball games, hanging out with the friends after school.
Yeah. When did you get your car?
I got my license, like, beginning of junior year. But I was, like, hanging out with people a lot. I had a lot of friends. I would see people in the hall. I'd be like, hey, what's up, man? See you later. And then, dude, I just felt like, dude. I was really loving school at that time. And I was like, dang, this is so cool. Then Corona hit. And I was like, oh, man, 3 weeks off school. And then.
Wasn't everyone.
Yeah. Dude, I remember vividly, like, the day before we got shut down for the first time. Like, the first shutdown. Or, like, the first 2 days. I think didn't we get shut down, like, on a Thursday? I feel like it was a Thursday.
I don't know. I mean, it was 2 days before my birthday, though.
I think it was Thursday, and then it was after school Thursday, and then Friday we had off Corona, and then it was, like, Monday, Tuesday we're coming back. Oh, and
actually not. We're not, actually, ever.
And then it was like, oh, spring break. But I remember, like, the 2 days before that, everyone was like, bro, come on. I'm going to take one for the team, bro. I'm going to catch Corona. We don't get school. They're like, I can't wait. And then
they're eating their words right now. I remember the first thing I heard about the coronavirus was because one of my teachers was out sick, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, she's got coronavirus. It's from China. And she's like, she has a 50% chance to die. Like, if you get the coronavirus, you have a 50% chance to die. It's either you live after 2 weeks or you die. It's 50% chance. And that was like, I don't know, a month and a half before quarantine started.
Dude, that's crazy. Dude, that's crazy. Wait, when I'm thinking about it, I didn't hear much about, like, anti-maskers the first, like, month or two of the virus.
Well, that's because everyone was inside their house. They weren't allowed to leave. Like, there was no need for masks because you weren't going out. Well, other than, like, grocery stores.
Yeah, and toilet paper.
Okay, I know what you're saying now. Yeah, when people went out to, like, the grocery store, like, for the first month, there were no mask mandates because it just wasn't, nothing was known about it.
Yeah, but everyone didn't want to get sick, and then all of a sudden, people were just like, yeah, I'm not going to wear my mask. And then it caught on. And they're like, this isn't China. This is America. That's all I heard. I was watching this video about it. Anyways, I think that's crazy how it like changed. And then also some quarantine stereotypes. Did you run out of toilet paper?
No, actually, never.
I
know that the stores did.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Did you personally?
No.
I think we ran out once. And then we're like, that's not happening again. So we got like Amazon Prime or whatever, and we ordered so many things during quarantine. I swear, every day we'd come with like 6 packages, and we were the family that would let them just sit on the porch for a while and then take them all in at once, and so they fester to get their quarantine germ or their corona germs out, and then we bring them in, and we would just order everything.
Dominick's family is so clean, like the germs on the inside stay on the inside, and the germs on the outside stay on the outside.
Well, so my mom has OCD, and she is a germaphobe. So Corona was basically like her hell, like literally she said that, and so
global pandemic.
Right before the pandemic hit, like we got shut down, she started making the stock. We had
the stock.
We had so much soap, wipes, Lysol,
dishwasher cleaner.
We had all the cleaning supplies, hand sanitizer, all in the stock.
Did you have masks?
We had masks. We had the KN95s. We had everything, and then Courtney hit, and she's like, "We got the stack." Dude, it was so convenient. It was so
ready to go.
It was so convenient, and we would just be like, "All right, grab from the stack," and she's like, "You need some soap? Grab from the stack." So yeah, that was my quarantine experience. I didn't shower much. We had a lot of clean supplies, and then I got back pain, so I'd have to roll out every day. And yeah, in Animal Crossing, I thought it was kind of good. I got my best grades sophomore year, probably because I didn't cheat actually that much. We didn't have many tests sophomore year, after at least.
Yeah, for sure.
We definitely did not have a lot of tests sophomore year. Anyways,
transitioning out of COVID, literally the transition out of COVID, when did you get your car?
My car is a 2010 Toyota Camry, and it's silver, and so my mom had it first, and she drove it back and forth a lot, and then my brother got it, and then he drove it back and forth a lot, and then at one point we were sharing it. So I would drive it to soccer when I wanted to, and then I was driving to a friend's house. But he had main priority of the car, and then my mom bought another car. So then Derek got her old car, so that became my car. Like that was absolutely my car at that point. So I got my car, so I basically was just given my car, right? And so that's what I've been driving, and it's really nice. Toyota's Camrys are really nice, but I think it's funny how you got the same car.
I did get around the same type of car just this past week. It's really super exciting because it's my first good car. I say first good car because I did have a car previously. It was $1,200. It was a it was a Honda Civic 2005 SEEX, and it was nice. It was fun. It wasn't nice, but it was fun. And the vibes were great.
Here's what I'm thinking. I think a great thing for your car, or like a saying for your car that represents it well, is, "It's been fun. It's been real. Has been real fun." Because, okay, for both audio and YouTube, the car, imagine it, right? So it's the Honda Civic?
Yeah, Honda Civic.
It's
red,
but then
super red.
Half of the car
cut it in half
was gray, and the paint was chipped off. So it was 2 tones, and I was like, Tomas, that is the worst car. Why would you buy that?
It was like, the best car. It's still. I like it more than my current car, even though it was not the most appealing to everybody.
He's like, dude, it looks so cool, bro. Let me tell you, it's sick. I'm like, oh, what? And then I drove it, and I was like, he's like, don't go too fast. And the brakes were weird, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then...
yeah, it kind of felt like it was going to fall apart when you drove it.
My favorite quote is he drove my car, and then he's like, Dom, I don't like it. I'm like, this is way better than your car. He says, I don't like it because it doesn't feel like it's going to break every turn. I'm like, how is that a bad thing? That's a good thing. And he's like, no, I'm going to stick with my Vibemobile. He called it the Vibemobile.
Yeah, the Vibemobile. I had a license plate that said Vibin on it and everything. It was a great car. But then one day I was driving it and then it started like rumbling in the engine bay. And I was kind of scared. I thought I was going to blow up, not going to lie. So I stopped driving it for like 2 weeks-ish. And then I tried to start it up after 2 weeks and it wouldn't start at all. And it like, the like lights would turn on. So it wasn't a battery thing. It was like I think it was an internal mechanism error or something that didn't work inside of the car, so that it wouldn't work. So I ended up scrapping it for $550. I put in like $1,500. It cost $1,200. Net $2,000 loss, right? I've wasted a lot of money in my life. Orange ribbon, car, gone. But now we have a podcast.
So
we recycle.
My favorite thing about your car is
my new. Wait, let me talk about my new car. Are we talking about my old car still?
Old car.
Okay.
Story. So I'm at home after dive practice. I'm at home. I get a FaceTime call.
Oh my gosh.
From Tomas. He's holding the phone, but he's in his car. I'm like, hey dude, what's up? I'm like, are you driving? He's like, no. Dude, I cracked my windshield. Dude, and then he flips the camera. Huge crack just on the windshield. I'm like, how did that happen?
So I had these clips, right, that clipped down my what's it called, the
hood,
the hood of my car, and you like take them out and like you put them in. It was like a race car type thing, and it's because it was like a custom made front end because it was like in an accident or something. And I forgot to put the clips back in.
Didn't you like check your engine or something because in the morning?
Yeah, I was like checking my oil or something. And so I drove to practice and it was fine. But then on the drive back, I was going 55 down the road and I hear like a squeak, 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 squeak. I'm like, what the heck is that? And then all of a sudden I heard boom! And my whole field of view was gray. And I'm just like, ah! And I handled it pretty well because I like just slowly like decelerated, stayed in the same like linear line going down the road, and I go off to the side. I put on my hazards, and as soon as I get to a stop, I say some curse words. Not gonna lie, I do say some curse words,
dude. So basically, you didn't say it, but the hood, because the wind flew back and hit his windshield and cracked it.
Yeah.
And then he calls me and I'm like, dude, you want me to come help? And he's like, nah, dude, and then he's like,
no, I'm like, I need kind of like help brainstorming, like what should I do here?
No, first you tried, hey Tom, just stay in the line for a bit. He put me like in a cup holder. You start driving. And you start driving really slow.
Oh, yeah.
And then again. And then it... Boom! Again. And you're like, oh, just hit again. Go off to the side again. And then you're like, that was a good idea.
I was only like a mile and a half away from my house, so it wasn't too bad.
And then I was thinking, and then I said, shoelace. And then didn't you take out your shoelace?
I took my shoes and I undid all the shoelaces and I tied the hood of the car to the clips and it worked perfectly and I was able to drive home. And I was already pissed off at the car because like the week before or something there was a problem with the coolant system where a pipe just like came off and I was like, oh, the car's totaled, not able to drive that anymore. And then like I fixed it the next day because it was literally just a pipe that was not like attached or something.
How did your parents react when you told them, I cracked my windshield?
I mean, they were just like, how? And I told them the story and I mean, since I was fine, they laughed, but if I would have gotten a crash, that could have been bad.
Dude, your parents laughed. I get scratched by people. My car got scratched on both ends from people from my high school parking, I guess. And my mom's like, "What the heck, Dominic? This is unacceptable." I'm like, "I didn't even do anything. I was in the park." And she's mad. And I'm like, "Oh."
But she wasn't mad at you. She was mad at the people, like, at the school system for allowing this.
And she's like, "You guys shouldn't be able to drive nice cars. You guys should drive beaters." I'm like, Tomas's car was a beater and it broke down, so whatever. So how's your new car? How do you like your new car? It's basically my car.
Okay. I have a love dislike relationship with it. A little bit. Like, I love that it's a car. I have the freedom. It drives. It is comfortable. It has a sunroof. The sound system doesn't work. So the sound system does work, but the aux cord doesn't, which is a real bummer. I need to fix that. It doesn't accelerate fast. It's a hybrid. So it's a 2007 Toyota Camry hybrid. So the acceleration is a bit slow, but, you know, it's a car. I can drive it, and I have to, like I said, I have to drive 40 minutes to diving, 40 minutes back for my club practice every single day, or every weekday. So it's something that really works out for me. It gets good gas mileage, it's like 34 miles per gallon. I just use my speaker as my sound system right now until I get that fixed.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad at all. It's pretty loud.
I'm jealous they give a sunroof because...
Yeah, sunroofs are nice.
What's it
I had one on the Vibemobile as well.
You did?
Yeah.
So whenever I'm driving with my girlfriend, she's always like, "You need a sunroof. Like, what is this?" She taps the top of my car. I'm like, "What am I supposed to do? Cut a hole in it?" It's like what am I supposed to do? But I think it's fine. Like, I like my car. It's good. I like how this might be controversial, but I like the cloth seats. Do you like the cloth seats? I think I don't get as sweaty in the cloth seats compared to leather.
I think you do get just as sweaty, but it just absorbs into the material.
I think it's more breathable, and also...
like, it's not going to create as much wetness.
And then also, it doesn't get as hot in the sun.
Yeah, so, but it stays cooler longer, I think. Like, they're cooler seats. Like, the temperature is cooler when AC is hitting them.
I mean, maybe. That may be an option. But I just think it's cool.
I do like cloth seats better.
But I like how when we can park our cars next to each other, and then we're like, "Oh, it's about the difference. Oh, they're both the same car. Oh, you copied off me."
Camry Brothers.
The Camry Brothers. The Camry Brothers.
New podcast starts tomorrow. Camry Brothers. Listen in. We're both going to be beside each other in our Camrys.
Talking about how Camrys are just the best.
Better than Hondas.
Hondas suck. And
just kidding. Actually, if you need a car, get a Honda or a Toyota. Best car companies that you could buy from, most reliable.
But they kind of suck, and you kind of suck.
I guess so. And you know what doesn't suck, though? The performance of our first podcast.
The podcast performed a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised. My expectation and what I wanted was 15 views and 10 subscribers that were mostly friends. But right now, we have 48 subscribers, and our first podcast hit 156 views or something.
That was pretty good.
That's really awesome, and we thank you guys so much for listening in. There's a bunch of people at school "Yo, what's that? What's good on the podcast? Can I be a guest on there?" And if you have something interesting about yourself that is different than people, and you want to come on and talk about it and give us information about something, then we will 100% give you a chance.
And maybe if we vibe with you really hard,
for sure.
And maybe if you're just easy to talk to, and maybe if you've just lived a full life and you've had a lot of stories, then that might be fun to talk about too. But speaking of people, I thought it would be interesting if we talked to each other for a little bit about our icks with each other.
Your what? Our what with each other? Dom, can you please pronounce that correctly?
Is that your ick with me? That I can't pronounce things correctly?
Yes, but I didn't realize where I was going with that. It sounded like you just said the D word.
I did not. I meant
I know.
Ick.
Well, ick. Like something we don't like about each other.
Mine with you, as I've said this before, is how you just can't take no for an answer.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. No, that's not right, actually. No, because let's say interaction. Tomas goes, dude, can you come home and sleep over?
Dude, can you come over and sleep over?
And then I go, dude, I don't know about tonight. You're like, dude, come on. And then I explain why. Let's say, dude, I have a lot of homework, and then this and that. And you're like, dude, just do the homework really quick. And then, dude, let me talk to Madre, dude. I can make this happen, dude.
And you gotta pitch the idea.
And then you come up with some, like the TikTok trend where it's like, he has elaborate ideas every 10 seconds. And that's literally you. And then I'm like, dude, no. But you're like, come on, dude, please. Like, It's not that hard.
I'm a very persistent person. It's what's gonna make me successful in life. I'm gonna be a multimillionaire when I'm older one day. This is for sure.
Is it for sure?
It's for sure.
No.
Yes,
no.
It's for sure. Because if I come up with an idea and I think it's a better idea than, like, I think it's a good idea and someone, like, can't tell me what's wrong with it, then I'm gonna go with that idea and I'm gonna push for it to happen. And it does get annoying. I'm not gonna lie. I can be annoying sometimes. But I also am pretty smart sometimes. I'm also pretty dumb sometimes. I'm also pretty cool sometimes. And I'm also pretty annoying sometimes.
I was going to say debatable, whatever you said. But annoying, that's not debatable at all. Smart, debatable, dumb.
I'm debatable.
You're so debatable, dude. Anyways, what's your biggest thing about me? What do you not like about me?
What do I not? No.
Is it my stutter?
Do you not?
Because
I don't like your stutter. No.
Isn't my voice, dude?
But, like, it's chill though. But it's like chill because we like work on it. Like the first podcast, it was a bit of an issue. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching it through. I'm like, Mom, my grandma, my actually sister, and then my Derek.
I said like too much.
You did say like quite a few times. Not gonna lie.
My stutter has gotten better over the years.
It has.
But it also, for a while...
For a while.
Was really bad at your house. It would... Every time I went to your house, my stutter would be really bad. For example, I would be like... And then your dad would hear it, and he'd be like, Dom, what... Say it, Junior, or whatever. And I'm just like, never mind.
I think it's because you have so many different thoughts like coming in that 100% you want to say, but you can't pick the one you want to say.
Yeah.
Just like how when you were younger, you never learned how to read very well. You weren't good at phonics or whatever you called it. Phonics. Putting words together. You've got so many different types of ways to say things that you weren't able to communicate them well as a kid, and it grew into your teenage years.
I have so many different thoughts going a million miles a minute, and then I want to say one thing, but I'm not done saying the other thing, so then it just comes out, and it just sounds like I was listening to a podcast, and I said like 6 words in like under a second. It was just like a slur of words, and I was like, I was like watching with Emmy, which is my girlfriend, and I was like, did you just hear that? I said like 6 words in like under a second, and then right after that, I said something along the lines, like, I said something really fast and under, like, a second, and she understood me. And people, like, they learn to understand me just saying what really fast.
That's why it's really easy for me to talk to you on this podcast, because I can kind of, like, predict what you're gonna say. Like, if I say, like, a story or something, I can tell you, like, a punchline, and I know when you're gonna laugh.
Yeah.
See, I knew he was gonna laugh there, like, because it was just a joke. Like, that's what friends are for.
Well, I've tried to predict you, and it doesn't work. Like, when I try to predict what you're gonna say with the organic creatures, so wrong. Just I've never been more wrong in my entire life.
I tried to show him a picture of Joe Rogan to just like show him how weathered like a middle-aged man looks. And how, like, your organs work for so long. It doesn't make sense to me. I feel like after I'm done with high school, there's nothing after that. Like, how does college work? How do you grow into a mature adult into, like, getting old? How do your organs work that long? But then on the other hand, why would they not?
Because they're just...
Like, why do the people die at 90?
It's built a little different from the rest. I don't know.
I think they're built exactly the same because people's life expectancy is around the same.
Dude, everyone is different, but also the same. And that has been Organic Matters. Not Orange Ribbon. Not Orange Ribbon. Hello?
Hola.
Hola.
Hola, Signor Dominick.
Si, senora.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, MomPom, this is Tomas. You're live on Organic Matters podcast right now.
We were just about to wrap up. Anything you want to say to the viewers and the listeners?
I'll say keep the peace. It's always best to keep the peace.
Exactly.
Always
That's all we're trying to say.
Always keep the peace. Coming from Madre de Dominick. That has been Organic Matters. I hope you guys enjoyed this week of the podcast. And we'll be back every Saturday. We might also release an episode Wednesday because of Labor Day.
Oh, actually, before we wrap up, I have one more thing that I want to say. We're going to be posting some exclusive short form content on this YouTube channel. So the people my brothers who made the intro song, I'm filming a little like mini documentary. It'll be like probably 20 minutes ish, and I'm gonna be posting that probably within the next month. It's a pretty big project. I have a lot of footage to go through and edit. But yeah, we're gonna be kind of doing that a little bit, trying to get out at least one piece of exclusive short form content each month. That's my goal, at least.
So that's his goal. We also might create a YouTube Shorts channel, and we have a TikTok that we'll be posting on some just highlights from the podcast. So look out for that. But otherwise, that's it for the podcast.
That has been Organic Matters. Stay organic.
Stay organic.
Drink some apple juice. And make sure it's organic.
Keep the peace.
Keep the peace.